Okay, welcome to Switchboard's LGBT History Month, and this is our Funeral of Normativity event with Melissandre Varin. Thank you, Melissandre. Yeah, so we're going to so yeah, it's recording. You can also turn on the subtitles, so closed captions at the bottom of your screen. You can put it on, so it'll give you like a little writing. And what else? We want to make sure this is a safe space for everyone. So there's zero tolerance for homophobic, transphobic, racist, sexist, Islamophobic, or any other derogatory behavior. My name is Aisha, and I've been a volunteer for Switchboard LGBT Helpline since last summer. I'm joined by a Switchboard staff and Melissandre, which I'll introduce now. So Switchboard LGBT Helpline is a confidential listening and support service open to LGBTQ plus communities and beyond. It's for anyone who wants to talk about things like gender identity, sexuality, sexual health, and emotional well-being, and a lot of other things. And we operate a telephone line, instant messaging, and email service from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., 365 days a year. So we've seen an increase in people contacting us during the pandemic, and last year contacts to the helpline were up by 31% in comparison. So it's going up, especially during like the pandemic and everything. People have called a lot because of isolation as well, and it's rose by I think 51%, 57%. I don't know what. So Switchboard is from the community and for the community. All of our volunteers self-identify as LGBTQ+. We were founded in 1974, and we've been serving the LGBT communities for 47 years. We don't receive any statutory support and are relying on community funds and some corporate support to keep us going. It only costs £6 for us to take a call. And if you'd like to support us this evening, you can text SP Pride 6 or your choice of amount up to £20 to 70085 to donate now. Okay, thank you. So now I'm going to introduce Melissandre Varin. Relation, displacement, multiplicity, identity, interdependency, and language emerge from Melissandre's work, making from an Afro and Caribbean diasporic context. Let me admit someone. Okay, we have more people joining. Okay. Making from an Afro and Caribbean diasporic context, Melissandre add layers of complexity using a situated Black feminism. Through poetic performance arts, moving image assemblages, and site-specific installations, among other things, Melissandre interrogate how the encounter between bodies that have been marginalized, everyday materials, and institutional spaces transgresses normativity. Commissioned nationally and internationally, Melissandre co-parent 2-year-old Ioli at Coventry Peace House. They currently are an artist in residence at Coventry Art Space, work on a pro-Black arts and library space, prepare transnational Afro-feminist performances, are an editor studies in theatre and performance, and are a Coventry Art Space advisory group member. Okay, so just so you know, hi. We are recording this event, so if you don't want to be in the recording, make sure to turn off your camera and all that, just for those who have just joined us. And we're going to start. Melissandre can now talk.
Okay, now you froze, Aisha. So I'm going to say hi. real quick, and to say that I'm currently sitting on a sofa with a blanket over my shoulders because it's really cold where I am. I'm surrounded by my laptop and like 3 different heaters. I'm at Coventry Art Space Arcadia Gallery in Coventry in the United Kingdoms. So have a cool hairstyle today, like according to my own beauty standards, right? So I'm shaved on the sides, and I have a sort of like afro on the top. One earring made with shell. I mean, I also have a nose ring, and I'm a Black queer person. And some books behind me, white wall, and something I was playing with during a lunch break this week, and it's written, "Our existence/resistance is essential." So yeah, this is my description, visual description. So now if everybody is up for it, we can share the link of the film we're going to watch. Because it's a film that, I said that I won't speak that much, but I speak a lot. So because it's a film that is made with an old camera and also bits of live performance, I mean, a performance that was also shared live, I would advise you to click on the link and to watch the film and then to come back 25 minutes afterwards. But if you want to watch it, for us to watch it together, we're also going to play the film. But just bear in mind that the quality might not be as good. Okay, so just give me 1 second, please. Up. So I can share the link with you. Okay, so here is the link. Eleanor and Asha, do you want to say maybe in the chat or unmute yourself to say if you would prefer to watch the film via Vimeo or for us to watch it together? So that I can just like time you clicking on the video. Or alternatively, we can just say, I'll watch with you together, okay? So yeah. We can play it now. But if you see that the quality is not so good, you can still click on the link because it's really my preferred option.
Lying on walking on the moon, walking on the moon, my kind of time lapse, my own time lapse, happening, lying on walking on the moon, walking on the moon, walking. happening, happening, happening. My kind of time lapse, my own time lapse, happening, happening, happening. Walking on the moon, walking kind of time lapse. My own time lapse. Happening. My kind of time lapse. My own time lapse. Happening. Lying on the
To be
moon, walking on the moon, walking on the moon, walking. my kind of time lapse, my own time lapse, happening. Flying on the moon,
To be walking on the moon.
walking on the moon, walking on the moon, flying on the moon,
To be walking on the moon.
walking on the moon, walking on the moon. Carrot cake. I'm a carrot cake. Carrot cake.
Voilà. Thank you so much for watching the film. It was the first time that I was sharing this film. Thank you, Nayasha, that I was sharing this film, and it feels really, it feels a privilege to be able to share this film first in a, sort of an intimate group, so we can have a chat about it, and hopefully, like this film is only like at the beginning of its life, and it will be shared and provoke thoughts again and again and again. So now you can unmute your mics, if your microphones. Microphone? Yeah. You can unmute yourselves, and we can have a chat while you do so. If you want to join this sort of short conversation for about 10 minutes, I will just be sharing some of the sort of a behind the scene experience with this film. So initially, I didn't want to document this process of basically transitioning with an art piece that I've made from my home, which is at Coventry Peace House, to the gallery where I am still showing the work at Coventry Art Space Arcadia Gallery. But I thought that anyway, I needed to to move the work, and because I don't use cars or anything at the moment, so I would have been working with it anyway. And it was also a way for me to step back into my like artist skin, because due to the pandemic, it has been really hard over the last year to be able to perform in public or perform with public, for a better way to say this. And actually engaging in transitional processes with the work as well has been really reconforting in terms of trying to find ways to share while we can't, and also making a political claim that art is also an essential part of our social tissue, social fabric. I don't know how to say. I was translating a French expression into English. I think it's not working, but and this essential part. So that's why it's written behind me, and it shows in the film at some point, because is really of concern for me at the moment, because the government is telling us what is essential and what is not essential, and like I was wondering, what if I am in the public space with a shopping cart, with this consumerist uniform. Am I then allowed, to do my work, that is to produce art, to share art, and to nurture conversations about like what's going on, in our everyday lives, and because. And because also, and then I'm gonna stop so you can speak too. And because also for the last 10 years or so, I've been moving places every 1 year to 6 months. This year I haven't been able to do it, and I also didn't feel the desire to move somewhere else. So it was also a way for me like to perform transition. So from home to work, which is like a huge step now with the repetitive lockdowns, to be able to find myself back, because from my personal history, and from in relation to my identities as a Black queer person, I've always been on exile, like from one place to another, always I think that I source my energies and my inspiration a lot from these notions of fugitives, Black people, you know. So I'm always on the go, and it's my way to survive, my way to live, like to experience the world. And it's not coming from a place of fear, but it's actually I'm trying to like frame it in a way for me that it's coming from a place of love, coming from a place of strength, being able to, you know, evolve as a human being, engaging in fluidity for my gender. And I was a friend shared saying today on their Facebook, and it was saying, someone was saying, yeah, I am fluid in any ways except one, black, my race, Black, you know. So I think that, and this person was basically saying that I'm first Black and then I'm fluid, you know, in any ways. And I think this sentence is like resonating so much with me and with my work and my way, you know, with my everything, because I'm first Black in a political way. So the art I make are usually extremely politically engaged and quite obscure, I must say, as well. And then I'm also engaging in terms of media. I'm also engaging in really fluid ways of putting in conversation different art forms. So in this film, I'm actually moving a physical visual art piece, but at the same time, I'm also making a performance. So everything is quite mixed and blurred as it is in my head. Like everything is, I see the world in a fractal way. So I don't understand and I don't engage in compartment, like divided ways of you know, experiencing the world, of understanding the world. So yeah, everything is mixed. But when it comes down to, you know, articulating political thoughts, my thoughts goes first to Black queer beings and thoughts and energy Black queer beings. And yeah, so that's why I really enjoyed, like not enjoyed, but I really like felt like vibed a lot with this sentence that, you know, everything is fluid in me except the fact that I'm Black. So I'm really happy also, I should say, I'm really happy to be in this space and be able, you know, not having to say, yeah, I'm queer and explain it, you know, just being able to be like the full spectrum of who I am for a tiny limited bits of time. I'm checking the time. And to be, yeah, in space with you. So yeah, if you want to unmute yourself and share comments so I can stop speaking, that would be great. Thank you. As you are my first beta testers.
Naisha is clapping and said, love that, power to truth. What is essential? Yeah, that's interesting. Like what do people sort of see? Because I think I don't think, what do you think about the government? Like, what do you think art is really held to like the importance that it should be? Like, it's not really seen as, it's not listed as like an essential thing, whereas it should be. I think that's very interesting, because I think they were having like these ads out that they stole from, like, there was like a ballerina and they stole it from like an artist, like a photographer, and they like made it into an ad for like cybersecurity. They're like, Fatima can be a cybersecurist. And I was like, and they stole like that piece of artwork to make it into an advertisement against art, and it's just so warped. But yeah, it's not really held to the respect that it should by the government, by this like sort of in this pandemic like world, which maybe it yeah, whereas it really should. And people have been using it to sort of cope as well. Like
yeah. And also when we have a sort of decolonizing way of understanding or experiencing what art is, And so that art is not only in gallery spaces or museums or whatever, but it's also very much like at home, in how you perform your everyday lives and everything. You really, I think that art is very much underrated, especially now, but also the potential of it as a cure, like as an antidote to what we, as one of the many antidotes that we need, to overcome what's happening right now. It's so, as I said, it's underrated, and I hope that as we move towards like brighter days. Today it was super sunny here in Coventry. I hope that art and artists will be revalued, and valued for what like the essential work, but what like the immensely important work that they are doing, and how immense how much they are contributing, and the values for how much they are contributed to, making sure that we have critical eyes over things, opening doors. I was thinking of sharing also some stuff. I remember that first time that I came across with the word queer was actually in this book that is written. It's called Afro. It's written by a collective that is called Moissy, a collective based in Paris, an Afro-feminist based in Paris. And there was this very beautiful chapter about queer without glitters. In it, it was my first encounter with queerness. When was it? I think it was in 2018. Before I was living as a, I was living my queerness, but I didn't put any words on it. So this is like a work of art as well, to be able to contribute in books and, articulate words so that other beings can actually see through your words, see through your perspective, and find themselves in your works. So that's why I wanted to share this book. And it's also a way for me to not to justify, but just to say, like, in every little bits of things, this book was sitting at on my bed or my desk, something like that, and it actually transformed my reality. So I'm not saying that every art or every kind of art or all arts has a capacity to transform one's reality, but some do. And I'm so like 200% to support this kind of arts. Yeah, I'm going to check in the, and I stop speaking. Absolutely. So I saying absolutely whatever it is, we are transitioning through together. It is art that will protect and propagate our souls. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I love that so much.
That's true. Oh, it was a little hot. We appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Yeah. What when you were like transporting, or like it's sort of like, is this like sort of you sort of said it's like a transition of like your artwork, you're around. What was that experience like? Like, was it quite, because I'd find it quite daunting to sort of just be around like in public spaces, just sort of, but it is a performance, so I guess that's part of it. But did people like notice? Like, were they like, oh, that's cool?
It's also I'm really interested in questions surrounding Black queer bodies in public space. And so you are Black and queer, you are hyper visible in public spaces, and also at the same time completely disregarded for what you truly are, So adding on top of that, transporting a weird shopping cart that has been queer used, it's like it's a bit over the top, especially in this time, like in the context we are living, like people are not expecting arts as much as they used to maybe before. So I had lots of weird look, like people looking at me like, what are you doing? Get your shit together, but also lots of very kind and caring gaze towards me and towards the cart as well. I must say that this cart was actually inspired by another Black being, another Black artist based in New York, that is named Nari Ward. And I encourage you to have a look at their work, because it's like it's questioning a lot about, you know, our consumption patterns, how we design materials for what end, and it's also very much inscribed in Black liberation. Nari Ward's work is very much inspired in Black liberation, and it's also a basis for my, like, I mean, not a basis, like, but a sort of a direction that I'm giving to my work. I want my work to be contributing towards Black liberation. That's my aim. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Thank you. I think we have to go soon.
Yeah.
If anyone has any yeah, we have a poetry, LGBTQ poetry after this, so feel free to join us. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Melissandre. Thank you. It was such a, yeah, clappy. Thank you, Eleanor says. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll put the donate, like, I think Wojtek can do that, and then we'll see you guys soon. I think this is going to be recorded, so we'll put it on YouTube, and so you guys can watch it. Yeah, support us. Yeah, text SB Pride. Yeah, that's it. But thanks so much. It's been a pleasure. I hope everyone enjoyed it. But yeah. Oh, Eleanor is saying it was great. Thank you, Eleanor. Wonderful. Thank you, Melissandre. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm leaving with bits of music as well, because funerals have to be celebratory as well. So I hope you enjoy yourselves with the music afterwards as well. And I wanted to, since we still have like 1 minute, to say thank you to Adele Marie Reed, to Jay, to Eyal, to Charles Vince, who like improvised the music for this piece, to Philip Francis, who was the person filming for the live. Yeah, I think I did not forget anyone. So yeah, and thank you to all of you here, my beta testers and very caring and kind people. Thank you so much, and thank you to Switchboard as well. And we won't forget to donate. Okay. That's all.
Okay, bye. Thanks, everyone. Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you.